Hey, this is Nicolette Moore from NicoletteMoore.com. Do you ever feel like you don't have enough to become the successful person you want to be? You don't have enough time, enough money, enough energy, or even enough health to be able to get to the place that you want to be. Well, Brittany Keller lacked all these things too, but she said she would find a way so that she could have the success she was seeking. And she did. So now she's got some awesome tips and strategies to share so that you can have the same success. So join us for interview 19, where you can hear her story and get some inspiration for how to grow your business online. I'll see you on the other side. Hello. This is Nicolette Moore from NicoletteMoore.com, and today I have Brittany Keller with me, an ex-hairdresser turned network marketer, and she's been in network marketing now for about 2 years, and she is thriving. Brittany, I'd love for you to come out. I'd love for you to come out and share your story. What got you interested in network marketing, and what's the past 2 years been like for you?
Okay, so yeah, when I was 18, I became a hairdresser, and I was a hairdresser up until I had my kids. My oldest, Zayden, is 4.5, and I'm not going to try to make this long, but I'm actually a cancer survivor as well. It started in my pelvis, and so that pregnancy was really rough for me. I had lots of surgery, so I actually was under like special care. And then towards the end of that pregnancy, I had to start taking it easy. So I stopped, working. I just, I was taking it easy, and I was about to be a mom, and I was about to be a stay-at-home mom. So I started taking it easy. And that was awesome. I love being a mom. And then shortly after that, I got pregnant with my second son. And halfway through that pregnancy, my gallbladder started failing really bad. I mean, really bad. And he was too far along to have surgery. So our savings went to crap, basically. It was just impossible to stay at home and take care of the babies with all of our, it was just, you know what I mean? Like more money was going out than was coming in. So I actually started going on Craigslist, getting free stuff from the Craigslist section, and then I would throw it up on other sites and sell it. Well, that started kind of dragging me down. It was just too much to care, get kids and take both my babies around, and well, eventually I had 2 babies. But anyways, so to make ends meet, we decided to put a salon in our home, right? And I put a salon in my home that was going great. I was like, yay, I'm finally making good money again. I'm contributing to our family. And in that time, a girl actually approached me with a makeup company. I was like, oh, no. I have kids. I've got this business going. I'm a mom. There's no way I can add this other business. Shortly after that, just with their dad's schedule, it just was not working out, man. It just was not working out. And so I didn't want to keep my clientele hanging, like rescheduling. That's really unprofessional. So I hooked up with this girl. I was like, you know what, tell me about that business again. And that's basically kind of long story as short as possible, how I got into network marketing. It was, like I said, it was a makeup company. I was like, okay, well, maybe I can take a few clients and then have this line in my salon in my home, right? And that was my brilliant idea, but it just didn't work out. Like I said, my kid's dad's schedule just kept getting just jumbled all the time. And so I slowly faded out my whole book of business, gave my friends clients, hooked them up, so my people were taken care of. And I jumped into network marketing and failed miserably. And I couldn't really figure out why this was working for everyone else. I thought, I was like, wow, I'm a very educated girl. And every time I went to my upline, and I hate saying this part of my story because it feels like it's so negative, but it's such a positive thing. At the time, it sucked, man. It sucked. Every time I went to my upline and I asked her any kinds of help, she made me feel 2 inches tall, right? Like literally, like, well, have you checked your back office? I didn't even know what a back office was because she didn't even show me, right? And eventually, I don't know, the 12th, oh, excuse me, actually, let me just add this to my story. A couple of days after I was signed, she had actually signed a huge runner, right? So this made me feel really great, right? I was like, great, she has this friend who's selling she sold $10,000 with, I'm not even exaggerating, $10,000 worth of makeup within 2 weeks of her first being in the business. And I'm like, great, cool. Can you hook me up with her so we can like mastermind? We're all in the same city. Let's all mastermind. And I swear to God, my upline said, well, why would I run with you? You're not a runner. When you start running, I will start running with you. I swear to God. And at that very moment, I thought, you know what? I am going to go figure this out, and I'm going to go help everybody that I can, whether they're financially tied to me or not, because I knew at that very moment that I was not the only person. And that really is how I got into network marketing, and really what really kind of put the fire underneath me. And I'm gonna have to take a drink because I'm sick. But yeah, that's kind of how I got into network marketing. And I continued to fail for, I don't know, a couple more months. And then I turned to the internet, right? Like I thought, oh, I'll be the super rock star by turning to YouTube. And I found Grant Cardone, Ray Higdon, Jim Rohn, Eric Worre, all the greats, right? All the greats. And I started following them, and I thought, well, if I just spend 80 hours a week listening to these guys, I'm gonna be this huge this huge rock star, right? Is that I wasn't implementing, right? I wasn't implementing. So I stumbled and I failed for quite some more time. And along that lines, remember how I said I was going to go help as many people as possible, whether they were financially tied to me? I actually stumbled upon a lot of people in my actual business, not tied to me, not on my team or anything, that were failing as well. And so along that time, I started finding people, or I started finding videos, and I'm like, oh, this has so much value to it, XYZ, LMNOP, and I started sharing those videos. I'm like, oh, you got to watch this thing by Eric Worre. I found this brilliant guy. Obviously now we all know who's in the industry, that he's like the god of network marketing. But I remember coming across Eric Worre, and I was like, oh man, you got to get this, man. He's showing you how to recruit 20 people in 30 days. You got to watch this, da-da-da-da-da. Well, that at the time, I had no idea was going to start my blogging career. An explosion, literally, Nicolette, an explosion of people, because one person told two people, those two people told people, and so on and so on. And so what ended up happening was I was on Messenger all day long. Hey, you're the girl who knows the things. And I'm like, I don't really know the things, but here's the videos. And I was like, this is not working. I cannot grow my business. I cannot implement this stuff, right? So I literally was like, okay, I don't know. Do you remember MySpace back in the day? Do you remember MySpace?
I do remember MySpace, yes. I have fond memories there.
Well, back in the day, to like pimp out your MySpace, right, you had to use HTML coding. Well, I learned some HTML coding to like really make my site stand out. So I thought, well, you know what? I could probably go do a blog. I could do this maybe. So I actually went on WordPress, got myself a blog. And because of the knowledge from before of the MySpace, I actually knew some HTML to kind of get a cool thing. So long story short, instead of talking to a million people, I actually started blogging, but I didn't really know about SEO, all that stuff. I just needed a place to send people, like here, tell your friends, here. And every time that I came across, I didn't really create my own content. I mean, I did start writing, but at first it was really just a place to organize all these videos. And as I got better, it was like I had subdivisions and, recruiting, mindset, all this stuff. And lo and behold, that's really what started my blogging career. And it just kind of spiraled after that. Well, I kept failing and failing. And so once again, I turned to the internet, and I found, My Lead System Pro. So this is funny. At the time, and you're a mom, so you may think this way. So at the time, I thought the price that they were asking, the $149, was just ridiculous, right? I was like, I'm failing. I'm barely making ends meet. I'm going on Craigslist all day long to just to pay our bills, right? And I'm like, there's just no way, right? And I'm like, that's X amount of diapers, that's clothes, that's food, that's this, that's that. That's how I thought of money, like was things. It wasn't money. It was like, how can I even ask? How can I do this to my family, right? Like, how can I do this? Take $150 out of our budget, mindset that I had at the time. So I kept doing the free, and I still was I was still just kind of plugging away like a snail, right? I was making progress, but not as fast as I wanted to. So eventually I thought, okay, maybe if I just hustle a little harder on this Craigslist, right? If I hustle a little harder and I put in just a couple more hours a day, finding stuff on the free section, selling it on these websites, I can come up with the 150, right? Well, I was like, this isn't going to work, because I was like, I'm going to be doing this all day long. I'm going to have no time to build my business. So I started looking around my house, and at this time, I'm telling you, like with my gallbladder failing, with the medical bills piling up, Also I have prior medical bills just because, being a cancer survivor, there's a lot that goes with that. I was like, I am struggling so bad. I have nothing to sell. I literally have nothing to sell. And I was looking around and I was like, okay, I swear to God, I was like, probably the thing that I could sell, the highest dollar amount of something that I could sell that I was looking at in my house was maybe $20. And I'm like, well, I could probably sell that for $5. I could probably sell this, little things I'm like, this is ridiculous. This is literally ridiculous. I'm not going to go sell a bunch of things to get a month of this training. And, so I literally was like, seriously, I was like, Brittany, dig deep, right? Like, I'm super resourceful. I'm like, dig deep. What is it, right? Like, what is it that you could do to get this training and alleviate, what is it you could do? And I'm telling you, Nicolette, I was ready. I was ready to go donate blood, knock on doors for cans. I was ready to do everything, anything and everything that I had to do. Swear to God, I would have done it. So when people tell me that they don't have the money or they don't have the time, I get them on the phone 5 minutes. I'm like, literally, if you have to sit crisscross applesauce and sell your kitchen table and eat dinner crisscross applesauce, I'm going to tell you to do it because it's going to be worth it. So at the time, I had a 20-year-old Ford Explorer, right? And I was like, okay, I'm going to sell my car. And I felt like I'm like, how do I go to my family, a family of 5, and go, hey guys, we're going to sell our car. I know that, I take you to school and I do this and we do this but I know it's crazy. It took me like 48 hours to actually come to my family. And I literally was just like, guys, here's my vision. It's up to you guys. I'm gonna put the balls in your court. But you know what? I want to sell the car so that I can get a couple months, feel comfortable, get some income to replace that $150 a month, and be good to go, right? And so without hesitation, and I have my boyfriend has a 14-year-old. Well, she just turned 15, a 15-year-old daughter, and then I have 2 little guys. So the little guys didn't understand, but obviously my kid's dad and his daughter did, And I was like, guys, look. And instantly they're like, yep, we're good. Go do it. And I put it on Craigslist. I sold the car for like, I think I put it up there for like $600, maybe $700, knowing that I'd maybe get 500. And I think somebody called that night and gave me like $450 right now. And I'm like, cool, done. And I signed up for, the training, basically the training that I needed that night. And I have never looked back. Now flash forward to now, really my career has really taken off since the Live the Dream event, right? In August. And since then I cannot tell you the things that have happened to me. I mean, the things that I've manifested. I mean, I'm literally friends with Ray Higdon. Like, I actually talk to Ray Higdon, like, on a daily basis. I mean, I'm not trying to name drop or anything like that, but I went to that event knowing that I wasn't just going to be a fan of these people. I was going to make great connections. And I mean, like, all the top leaders within the MLSP community, and all, a lot of leaders in the network marketing arena, let me just put it that way, are now my friends. I'm now having connections with them. I actually, I don't know if you know who Cedric Harris is. I don't really know him too well, but I guess he's a really big guy in network marketing. We're doing a 30-minute coaching call probably next week. I had my first 4-figure day a couple weeks ago. Like literally my first, like literally a commission for 4 figures came in. Like I'm trying to think of like what else. Just so many things. Like even today, I'm doing a training later tonight, and I was like, oh, I wonder how many leads I've generated. In this short amount of time. Not even, because I've been in network marketing for almost 2 years in January, but the system, the training that I needed to get me has really just been since June of last year. So in that time, Nicolette, like I have generated almost 2,000 leads. I'm going to be honest, like, because I know a lot of people come out and they're like, yeah, I'm a 6 and 7 figure earner. I'm not at that level yet, but I'm going, I now don't have to worry about paying for my system. I don't have to worry about paying for, my auto ship products. I don't have to pay, you know what I mean? It's nice. I'm at a place now in my life where I'm not living paycheck to paycheck, and it's only getting better from here, man. It's only getting better from here. But I mean, that's kind of my story, and like, to just kind of sum it up and like where I've been. I'm literally trying to think of like a million other things that have happened to me. Just everything is really honestly just taken off since August, when I just decided, right? Like I just decided I'm going to go to this event. I'm going to make the connections, and I'm going to start treating my business like a business. Like really, that's where it's taken off from.
I think it's okay. I think that you share just a raw and real story. We like to think that we can walk into anything that we want to accomplish. Say just network marketing. You want to walk into network marketing and all of a sudden have that success. Well, not everybody will, and that's okay, and that makes you relatable. So now you've been to the point where you're so desperate you sold your vehicle. That is huge. That's compelling. That means you were dedicated. That means you were gonna achieve success because you knew that you had to. And sometimes I think we get to the point where our backs are against the wall, and that's where we have to be in order to be propelled forward. And so that's, what you're sharing is you just came from a place of, I don't want to call it desperation, but at a point where you were like, okay, I see that there's potential here. I see that there is a future in this for me. I have to figure out how to go and make it happen. And instead of, you keep using the language, I failed, I know other people who failed. Instead of succumbing to that mentality and saying, I'm just a failure, I can't succeed in this, I'm not going to go anywhere, nothing's going to happen with it. You were like, no, you wouldn't accept that for yourself. And so you invested in yourself. You figured out, where can I get the money for this investment? And even before it was money, you said, hey, I know that it's gonna require some type of investment for me to be successful, because you going out and selling stuff and getting things for free off of Craigslist and selling it, that was a huge investment, but that was an investment of your time. And so it's like, then you start balancing time versus money and what matters most. How can you use your time most effectively to make the money that you want? And just continuing to do the Craigslist thing would not put you in the position today where you are, from taking that financial investment and just making that decision to get the training and the help that you needed. And so like Lisa Torres the other day did a wake-up call, and she said, free plus free equals broke. And that's kind of what that makes me think of, that the whole Craigslist thing. Well, I got to do something for free to make money, but that's really not a way to prosper you. It might get you by for a few days, a few weeks maybe, but it's just not long-term viable or sustainable.
Yeah, that was actually a really great wake-up call. And you're absolutely right. Actually, there's certain things, like when I start coaching people, one of the things there's a few things that I tell them right off the bat to get their mindset right. And one of the things that I tell them, and I swear to God, this is like the funniest thing, is I literally tell them, all right, I want you to fail as hard and as fast as you can. And it just spins people. It really is telling you, because I don't want to fail anymore. And I tell them, no, you have to fail. It's part of succeeding. I say this all the time, the best way to know what direction to go in is when you know what direction not to go in, right? So you have to go out there and you have to just fail and put yourself out there. Because I say this all the time, as network marketers, we are two things, really. It comes down to two things. We are professional friend makers, and we are professional tweakers. Every time I say that, I think of like the wrong kind of tweakers, but that's what we are. We have to go out there and tweak, right? I know I said that the other day, and I was like, no, not that kind of tweaker. Like, you have to go out there and tweak. Like, you have to test it. You have to tweak it. You have to do this. And the second thing that you just said that really, that I just have to explain to people, right? Because I remember, and like I said, I'm on that journey, right? Like, we're all on the journey. You got to enjoy the journey. And I'm really like at that point where my first big breakthrough, right? In this whole journey. But I remember sitting there and Ray Higgins, my friend. I'm like, 2 years ago, I would have been freaking out, right? Like, when I found this guy, because Ray Higgins is my guy, man. As soon as I found him, I was like, that's my guy. And now I'm talking to these people like, just casually, man. And I remember thinking, yeah, well, that's Ray Higdon. Yeah, that's Ray Higdon can do that. That's just what Ray Higdon does. He's just a boss of everything, right? Like, but it's you have to make the decision, right? First off, you have to invest in yourself. He teaches that all day and night. Any top-notch entrepreneur is going to tell you have to invest in yourself. But here's the other piece of the puzzle, is that you have to believe that you can do this, right? If you do not believe that you can't do that, or you can do this, it's never going to happen. And this is what I tell people too, is it's just about making the decision to step into your abundance, right? We were all blessed to have, we all have this greatness inside us. We all have this abundance, this abundant life. Like, we were meant so many times on, I want to be a millionaire, right? With like well, how's it going to happen? Will it happen? I don't know. You get 1,000 different voices coming at you. That's not what it's about. You want to manifest things. You just have to decide 100% that I will be a millionaire. And not even just I am a millionaire, right? And the other thing I'm just going to add is, do you remember, I don't know if nowadays in school they don't allow like outside bakery stuff, but when I was a kid, right, I remember having my birthday parties at the school and my mom bringing a cake for my birthday, right? Well, the teachers were always like, okay, let's count the heads of the people, right? And then like, how many times do we have to cut it this way? And how many times do we have to cut it that way so that everybody has a piece of cake? Did you ever have that in your school?
Well, I'm sure I never really paid attention to the technical aspects of cake cutting, but I'll trust you that that's probably what they did.
My point is that it's not like there's one abundance cake, right? It's not like the universe just has one abundance cake and we have to take 8 billion people in the world and we all have to cut it and we only get a little piece of the abundance. No, man, you get your own abundance cake. Like you get your own sheet cake. And it's true. You just have to step into it because we all were meant to have abundance, right? Like there is no lucky ones. That's like what I hate too is people are like, oh, the lucky ones or this or that. Because I used to think that too. I'd be like, oh, that's Ray Higdon, that's Dan Hockman, that's Brian Finale, that's Eric Worre, da 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 da. But you have to. They started from nothing, right? Like we all have the same 24 hours, and we all started from nothing. It doesn't matter about your background. It doesn't matter what you've been through. You just have to decide. Like honestly, I swear to God, that is like my biggest secret is just deciding. Just decide.
That's I love that you point that out because I think we get impatient. Again, you don't walk into something and just automatically be successful, but so many people feel like that's what's going to happen. And they hear all these, success stories of network marketers before them. And it's like, well, that it doesn't necessarily work out that way. And whenever you think about Ray Higdon, I think about him a lot and just, I admire him. And I've heard his story and I just think, man, he is a beast. People just, they recognize his name, even if they're not in the MLSP community, because he's everywhere. And
yeah.
Like they look at him and think, well, I could never be him. But if you hear his story, oh my gosh, what he's been through. The fact that he's still in it, it's like, just like Lisa Torres and Brian Finale and all these people that you mentioned, they came from a really challenging spot. They did not just wake up and have all this stuff laid out before them. And so a lot of the times, it's the challenges that they hurt so much to go through. They're hard to go through, but those are what give you power on the other side. Because once you overcome them, then you have that experience and that depth of the emotion and everything that you've been through. Now you can pour that into other people and help them to avoid it or, teach them how to deal with it. And it's a hard thing for us to go through and have patience to persevere through, but that really is what makes people like Ray Higdon, yourself, Lisa, Brian, all these people be such powerful influencers and people that can really help to go out and make a difference in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. So it wasn't until like this last couple of years, obviously, I didn't know that network marketing was going to explode for me like this. I didn't know this was going to be my passion. I didn't know that, 2 years ago, if you're like, you're going to be a brand and people are going to know who you are. I'm like, nah, no. But like, just to kind of sum up my story, I'm not touch story or my life. I just freshly turned 30 years old. My first 14 years of my life, I was severely abused mentally, physically by my stepdad. Then we got away, we escaped, right? And for like 3 months, then I was diagnosed with terminal cancer on my 14th birthday. I then later, had to learn to walk again. I went through chemotherapy, just really treacherous, right? Like just a very treacherous 2 years. After that, I was doing pretty good, right? I went into beauty school. After that, I don't think that I coped very well. I don't think that I processed everything that happened to me as a kid. And I don't think that I coped. I just kept going. I don't know what it was inside me that just said, keep going, keep going. Suicide was never an option. But when I turned about 18, 19, I got into alcohol, I got into drugs, I got into that, and then later was actually even homeless. So my point is like, just to kind of sum up my story, is that a lot of times people actually come to me and they're like, oh, well, Brittany, people are going to listen to you because you've just had it so, you've just had it so rough, right? You've just had it so rough, and like a lot of people actually refer to movies such as like, The Pursuit of Happiness, and there's like a bazillion of those feel-good movies, right? But it's like, to me, it's not like that. It's there's only two options in life for me, like that I believe that you're either going to lay down and die, right? You're either going to lay down and die or you're going to rise up and fight, right? Like when you're talking about fear, there's only two options in life, right? It doesn't matter what my story is. There are people out there that, maybe you had an amazing childhood. Great. People are going to connect with you because they're going to be like, oh, I've had an amazing childhood too. But get this, man, everybody, I seriously, so many people come to me and they're like, nobody's going to listen to me. So many people all the time. And I'm like, nope. And I always get on the phone. Like the other day, I was getting on the phone with this guy and I'm like, no, okay. I was like, start telling me your story. Open up to me. Tell me your story. He's like, oh, it's not exciting. It's not, I swear to God. He's like, it's not exciting. And he was like telling about this happy childhood and this and that and all these positive things. And I'm like, first off, you don't think people are going to relate to those positive things? And second off, then he started talking about his brother, how his brother died of a heroin overdose, how he was his best friend. And I stopped him right there. And I'm like, out of 8 point whatever, I don't even know how many people are in the world anymore. I've lost track. But out of billions of people in the world, like, you don't think that there's a small, maybe just a small sliver of people that have specifically had a brother or a loved one who was their best friend or sister die of an overdose? Like, you can't, come on, man. Like, you have to realize that there are people out there that are looking, they're waiting for you, they're looking for you. They're not looking for me. Like, I can sit here and I could teach the same thing as you, you know what I mean? We could literally give the same speech, the same training, verbatim, right? Like, literally verbatim. And there's people out there waiting for you. They're waiting to hear your story, and at Live the Dream, Ray was talking about it being your duty, man. It is your duty to figure this out. You have no idea. I think a lot of people, I'm kind of sidebarring, but a lot of times people on social media, they post the lifestyle, right? Like the cars and the money and the checks and this and that, whatever. But you have no idea. You have no idea when you're at the park and you're taking pictures of your kids, you have no idea who's watching you. You have no idea. You may have a whole large audience of single moms that all they want to do is stay at home with their kids. They don't care about the flashy cars. They don't care about the money. Everybody wants freedom. Money isn't anything. Money is freedom. That's all it is. It's money and objects. That's all it is. It's just freedom, right? It's not going to cure cancer. You can't take a dollar bill and rub it on you and cure cancer, right? It is like, it's the stories and your family and the things that actually matter, like that. So you have no idea when you're posting that life car and the trips and the whatever, but you have no idea when you're sharing that story. You know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? Like, I'm telling you, everybody has a story and everybody needs to hear what you have to say. There's going to be people that are going to resonate with you because of you. They're waiting. They're sitting out there waiting. It's now your job to get through the mucky part, right? Figure out, sell your car, do whatever. I'm like, that's my story, but like, sell your car, then show somebody, you know what? Go sell your car. Cause guess what? This is how great it ended up for me. So you can do this, right? To inspire them, right? Anyways, now I'm starting to get passionate because
no, it's okay. Preach it.
I started talking really fast. I'm like learning to slow down because the other day someone brought to my attention, I was like, I always thought I intimidated people. And they're like, no, you just exhaust people because you talk really, really fast and we're like zooming by us. And I'm like, when you get passionate, man, it just starts spilling out, right?
No, I love the passion. I think that's what attracts people to you, I say if they can handle the passion, then go find somebody.
Yeah. I'm going to talk really fast and I'm going to spit it down like it is, right?
So I know that you have had some coaching and you're currently not only a coach yourself, but you're currently still being coached. I'd like you to kind of share what that's been like and how you feel like that's helped the network marketing aspect of your life.
So you have to have a mentor, and this is why. Even if it's just like even if you buy an hour of time here or there, whatever you can afford, I know like some of the top earners, I'm working my way up to that presidential diamond, triple, whatever Ray has. It's like $100,000 or $50,000. I don't know. Anyways, but you have to have a mentor or a coach in your business. And the reason why is because it is so hard. It is so hard for you to see yourself when you're in it, right? You need somebody from the outside looking in to see a clear vision for you, because you get kind of lost in it. And I'm always paying attention to that when I'm coaching people. I'm really just looking and observing what they're doing, what I see. And it's clear as day to me, as day to them. Like, for example, if you were like, this is a great exercise to prove my point. If you were to think about anybody, right? Like if I said Diane Hockman, if I said Brian Finale, Eric Worre, those people's heads would pop up in your, that image of them, just clear as day would pop up. But if you sit there and you say, if I said your name, I don't know if you've ever tried this, but if you just try this either now or like afterwards, for me, I can never see myself. It's always a picture, a memory of a picture that I'm in. See, you know what I mean? So you have to get a coach to see the things from the outside. Now, I've had a few different coaches for a few different things. I've gone to Rob for everybody has their niche. So, I like mine is blogging. I love blogging. So I've gone to Rob for, I've bought, a lot of his courses. I've gone to him for SEO stuff. I've gone to Lisa Torres because she's just a beast with her prospects. I've gone to Lisa Torres for a bunch of things. I mean, I don't even know who else. I mean, I've literally bought, short mini coaching packages or courses or like hours of time with these people. And like I said, you have to invest in yourself. You have to do whatever it takes, maybe, yeah, you don't, I know a lot of times, like when I was in the beginning and, I'd see these people that I wanted to work with and they're like, oh, I have this brand new coaching package for $5,000. I literally remember when Larry Hochman had this mind flip and it was like $3,000 and it was just so ridiculous out of price. So you know what, put that in your vision board. But I mean, say, if you have to save $100 here, $50 here, buy half an hour at a time, buy it, you have to do it. You just have to do it. I mean, I just can't stress that enough. The things that have happened in my business, and then just as far as coaching goes, I mean, the things that have happened in my business, I mean, Rob Four took me, I remember when I went to Rob Four when I first started blogging and I was getting like, I don't know, 50 views on my blog. And I'm like, hey man, help me out. And he said, okay, cool, buy this course and let's work with you. And it was just like a little mini thing. And I remember within like a week or two, I ended up getting up to like 200 or 300 views a day without me promoting it, without me going, hey, go to successwithbrittany.com or links or anything, just from SEO stuff. So, I mean, it just, whatever your strategy is, right? And I'm going to tell you too, little sidebar, pick your strategy, go with your strengths, because for so long I tried to be everything and do everything. But just go with your strengths, right? Like blogging is my thing. Maybe blogging's not your thing. Maybe writing's not your thing. Maybe techie isn't your thing. Then find your strategy and then go find those people that have done it and then copy them, surround yourself with those people because they're going to teach you. Like when I was going to Rob Four and every time I've gone to somebody for coaching, they're never trying to sell you. They're literally, if they, my biggest tip is if they are telling you to buy a course, it's not because they want to get your money. It's because they've leveraged their time. They have poured their heart and soul into what you want to learn into a course, and they've packaged it up to you. So you better go sell your credit card when they tell you to do that. I mean, that's to sum up coaching and mentorship. I mean, literally, it's actually, not just that is a separate part of investing in yourself. But as far as that goes, even if you get some training and you get the mentor, you're just going to go on a fast track. Like, honestly, you're just going to go with mentorship. So it's just key. I mean, it's just honestly key to get a mentor. I mean, it just is. I mean, it is. I mean, even Ray Higdon always talks about, he'll have a coach until the day he dies. You know what I mean? Because you can always get better too. That's actually my last tip on getting a coach and a mentorship. The moment that you think that you're the guru or the expert in that field, you're done. You're done, son. You're done. Because like me, people come to me and they're like, oh, you're so good at this, that, the other thing. And I'm like, I'm still learning, man. I'm still learning. So just always constantly be a student. And I mean, but yeah, coaching is number one. Coaching is number one because you got to get out of your head, man. You got to have somebody outside of your head looking in and having that clear vision for you. So that way when you stray off the path too, it's kind of like a corn maze, right? Like when you're in the corn maze, you don't know what the heck's going on. Like you have a good idea of where to go by, failing, right? It goes back to that failing. So like, okay, I went this way. This doesn't work. I'm going to go this way. But as opposed to a coach, it's like looking down at the corn maze. It's like, no, Brittany, go, no, left. No, you're going, okay, you're going the wrong way, right? Like that's actually really like a beautiful analogy of like that whole failing and failing your way to the top and having somebody else outside of you. I mean, literally that's another in these last couple of months. I mean, just literally, well, I'd say in the last like 7 or 8 months, because for a while I still was failing and I wasn't in positive cash flow. And even my first course I bought was like, I want to say it was like $300, but to me that still was like, I don't have that $300. I just got into positive cash flow, but I don't have the $300. And I remember breaking it up into like 3 or 4 payments. And I think my mom helped me out too. And, or 3 payments or something. Maybe it was like a $500 course. I don't even know. Doesn't even matter. Just do whatever it takes and just do whatever it takes to get the coaching, man. You don't have to step up and get the $5,000 coaching yet, where you're at. You know what I mean? Learn to make more money, right? Like, I guess that's another thing is get out of that poor mindset, that poor man's mindset or woman's mindset, and just go for it, man. Just jump, right? Like, jump and then leap and the net will appear, right? We've heard that 1,000 times from Brian Finale. I've seen it all over the internet. Leap and the net will appear. And it really does. It really does. It really, really, really does, right? Like, what's that other saying? Like, entrepreneurs jump out of a plane or something, and on the way down they build a plane, right? Or something.
I don't know. I've not heard that one, but that's pretty cool.
There's a zillion of them, man. just step into your greatness, man. I'm telling you, just do it. Just do it, you know?
Yeah, I think I like, talking about training. People could say, oh, well, something's $300, $500 for this training. But just like you said, these people that have been there before, they've already had success in this, which is why they're training on it. Now, instead of them having to dedicate hours of their life to be able to coach somebody through this particular issue, they've created a training. They've invested time, they've invested money, they've invested resources. So of course you want to give to them what they're going to give to you. It's just an exchange. Yeah. And then whenever you get to that point where you can actually get the coaching because you're nailing it on the head. I mean, I personally, like, my goal is to have a coach for every area of my life. Like, I just want different eyes on me helping you.
Yeah.
Because, one person will be, like you said, really strong in SEO. One person will be really strong in mindset. One person will be really strong in, video. I would love to be personally mentored by Mark. Hey, Mark. Mark Harbert. I love Mark Harbert. And so, that's like one of the goals that I'm putting away for.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so those are like the people that are having the success that you want. Get around them, whatever you need to do. And if it's just starting with small little trainings, I love Steve Krivda says, in his story, he talked going, I think it was Ray Higdon, right? Where he went to this friend, he was offering coaching. He heard the coaching costs and he was just like, what? Like, I cannot pay for this. I cannot afford this. That's way too much. And he calls his wife, or he's texting his wife, and his wife is like, you don't think you're worth that? Like, you're limiting yourself by a dollar sign. And I get it. Sometimes people just don't have that number in their bank account, or they don't have that number available. But like you have done, and you've proven you can be resourceful. There's so much resources. There's so many ways to be able to tap into those funds if you need numbers, or there's different ways that you can play it to be able to get what you need to be able to grow. And that's going to be the fastest way to get that growth.
Yeah. And like you just said, there is a difference between physically not having the money in your hands and that mindset of, I don't think that I'm worth it. Because really, when you're saying, I can't pay that, that's really you putting onto the universe, well, I don't provide enough value out there yet to be in such positive cash flow to go and invest in myself. So really, when you're telling yourself, I can't pay that, it really comes back to it's actually a self-worth thing. And actually, I sound like I'm a pro at mindset now because like you were saying with the coaches, Simon Palmer is my personal mindset coach. I mean, the guy is just brilliant. I mean, I've had so many breakthroughs in the last 2 months since I met the guy, a little over 2 months ago. I mean, we're like yin and yang now, but like that guy on a mindset level, oh my God. I mean, he is teaching me how to love myself. I didn't know that I didn't know how to love myself. Life, Nicolette, I swear to God, I've always loved on people. I've never changed, really. I mean, I've gotten wiser and had wisdom, but I've always been I even have optimism tattooed on my wrist. Like, I've always been the happy-go-lucky, figure shit out. We're going to take life by the horn. We're going to power through. I have always loved on people, even when I've been in the shitty spots in my life, and when I've had crappy people in my life. And but so yeah, just a little kind of side note is you have to have these coaches, because at 30 years, I didn't know that I didn't know how to love myself. And I'm kind of laughing about it. It's not funny, but it is. It's like, and I needed that person, right? I believe that everybody comes into your life for a reason. I needed Simon, but I didn't know that I needed Simon because I didn't know. And this is actually the biggest mindset thing. You don't know what you don't know. Like, really, you don't know what you don't know. And I don't know. I've heard Ray say that. I've heard other leaders. I don't know if this is actually a Ray Higdon quote or who says it. It doesn't matter. What you don't know, like you don't. So you need these coaches that are telling you stuff because they've been through it, they've seen it, and they're like, wait a minute, you don't love yourself, go give yourself a pat on the back, give yourself a little self-love today, like hug yourself, love yourself, right? Or you might be going you might be getting progress in one area of your life, but you're doing it so wrong. Like, for example, I don't know if you knew this, but at 111 degrees, right? At 111 degrees, water, like in a pot, is hot. It's hot. Like, it's really hot at 111 degrees. But at 112 degrees, it starts boiling, right? So with that 1 degree difference, you now have boiling water. And with boiling water, you have steam. And with steam, you can operate a locomotive, right? I didn't make that up. I wish I did. But you never know if you're just that 1 degree off, right? Like you just don't know. And I think that's the biggest takeaway from coaching is so many times in a coaching course or being on the phone with somebody, you know, they're going to say that one thing that's going to set you off. And sometimes it just organically happens. Sometimes you're for mindset, you're on the phone for whatever, and they just drop something that has no you know, it's not relative to anything that you're doing or saying, but it like mind flips you. So, I mean, I think people really do come into your life for certain reasons. You know what I mean? You ever have those mind flips where you're like, you have these aha moments that you're like, well, I wasn't expecting that aha moment, but it just happened. You ever have those?
I've had so many. I've had so many. And I look forward to many more.
Yeah.
I definitely look forward to many more.
They're gonna happen.
What could you say has been the best piece of advice Simon's given you? I normally ask like just a broad overview of, you know, being in network marketing, what's the best advice you've gotten to stick through the hard times, but I'd like to know what the best piece of advice Simon's given you to maybe help you love yourself or understand that you didn't, you know, I don't know. I don't really know what I'm asking, but
no, I get it. So like with Simon, he's the kind of person that you're gonna call him on the phone, right? Like you probably have your girlfriends. You probably have certain girlfriends that you go and you talk to when you're mad at your husband, right? And you're like, you wouldn't believe he did this, and then they're on the phone, right? And they're like, yeah, he's an a-hole, right? Like, and that's because you kind of sometimes have to feel better about yourself. You have to have people. But Simon, my mindset coach, right? So one area of my life, you know, the best piece of advice that he ever gave me was, you know, the quote, you know, when one door opens, another one, or when one door, I keep saying that, when one door closes, you know, everybody thinks that the next door is going to open, but sometimes there's that long corridor, right? And all I was getting at was that, and that sucks that cut out, because I love just getting fired up and just spitting stuff down, you know? And my point is that if you take that piece of advice and you apply that to your mindset and everything, you know, I see it in my kids when I'm parenting. I realizing that I have to just, you know, it's not always going to be, you know, sunshine and roses, and it's not going to be, like, for example, like I said, people, and I don't know if you guys heard this, but, you know, people are living to die, right? Like they really are. They're not enjoying the journey. You have to sit there and you have to enjoy the journey. Man, you know, like how many times, and I'm sure you've done this too, you're like, I just want to make an extra $1,000, maybe even an extra $100. And then you get there, you're like, oh, I want to make $500 extra, $1,000 extra in my business. I want to make you know what I mean? You have to enjoy the journey as it's happening. You have to enjoy the journey, because then what's life if you're always trying to get to that next level, right? Like all you're doing is you're racing to die. Like, honestly. Mine too. I was always trying to get to where I wanted to be. That really has been like the biggest piece of mindset advice, and it's really, I've really taken that to heart in all kinds of areas in my life, and that's what I was trying to get out. And now I'm really upset at this cyber bullying, cyber whatever, because that was like really good gold. I'm like, oh man, what was recorded and what wasn't?
It's all good. We'll just have to do another one when these cyber hackers stop messing with us.
Yeah.
No, I mean, that's so true. And I think we're just so impatient, and we don't, and it really, you know, I've really been thinking a lot lately. Your first anywhere from 16, if you're lucky, to, you know, 19 or 20 years, you're in school, you know, maybe even up to 22, 24, depending on how you progress into, if you do university or not, community college, technical school, whatever. But the first part of your life, you're in school, and then the rest of your life, you're at work. And it's like, really? Is this what we're meant for? And not that it's bad, but it's like, I think that we need to get to a point where we can leverage things like the internet, leverage things like affiliate stuff, and leverage other people's work to be able to benefit us in our time, because our time is so precious. And it's like, I don't want to spend the rest of my life working for somebody else or having my husband work for someone else when it's just pulling our family apart. You know, is that really what I want the summation of my life to be at the end of the day? And then how can I help others, you know? And so, but the idea of the doors and the corridor, that's so important for us to remember, that it is a journey, you know, from point A to point B. You know, the fastest way might be a straight line, but it might be that corridor that just takes time. It just takes time.
Yeah.
If you're going the right way, it just might take time.
Have you ever seen that? Have you ever seen that quote where it's like, you know, what people, you know, the pathway to success or whatever, and then it's like what people think. Yeah, way to go. No, I'm kidding. I always do that too. I always like don't, or my kids come in, I'm like, but have you ever seen that picture where it's like the road or the path to success or something, and it's like what people think, and it's like a straight line, and then what it actually is, and it's like all these squiggles, right? And then it's like this, you know, that is what it is. I think of it like, okay, it's almost like an alien ant farm. That's a band, an ant farm, right? Like there's all these little you ever see one of those? There's little tunnels, and they're like, why did you stop? Like, where were you going there? And then there's like, and then but there's always a connecting one. It's like that. It's like that. It really is the road. You're like, oh, that's not the way to go. You know, remember those little wind up toys when we were kids? They wind up and then they like hop into a wall. You know, that's how success is like you're gonna hit the walls, and sometimes you don't know that you're hitting the walls when you're hitting the walls, right? And then that's where the coaching comes in, because then, you know, then they're like, hey, guess what, you're hitting your head against the wall doing this, like stop doing this. If it's not, you know, if it's not working, why are you doing that? And then finally get spun back around, right? Like it is not, I think that's why, like they say, and I don't know, I've never really looked into these numbers, and I'm really into numbers, but you know, that's why they say not, you know, 3% or like 97% of people are working for the 3% that didn't quit, man. Entrepreneurship is not easy, and marketing too. I think that's why people get so overwhelmed and so frustrated, is because first off, a lot of people, I didn't know how to market, right? I'm just going to say this, man. I did the spamming thing. I did the posting on my wall, posting in groups. I did it wrong, man. I'm not out there like, well, you don't know how to market, but I know how to market. I did it all wrong, right? But I think another thing is that people get presented the opportunity in the wrong way. I think literally in my mind, and this is let me just introduce you to my mind. But I think a lot of times people, it's like literally of the fancy, you know, like when they, you know, like when like the royals get their meals, and it's like, you know, the silver, and they're like presented like on a silver plate. I think I think that a lot of network marketers get presented that way. Oh, here you go. You know, all you have to do is spam your friends and chase them down and guilt trip them. And I'm kind of teasing, but really it's like, you know, all you have to do is go tell all your friends and spam and do this and post all these things. And so people, you know, everybody wants that lifestyle, right? Everybody wants freedom. You know, who wouldn't? Like, if you're like, hey, would you like to earn an extra $500 if I show you how? You know, who's going to say no to that? And I think like a lot of people out there are presented that, like, oh, 8 times. You know, earn $500 by being on Facebook 2 hours a week, you know, 6 hours a week, you know, and that's not it. It takes mindset. It takes a shift. It really takes a shift in you. Like, it's not until that shift happens in your mindset, you have to get the skill sets. You have to, I mean, it's just, it just boggles my mind, because it's like you were saying with school, you have to go through on average, everybody goes through kindergarten through 12, right? Like, I mean, I know like people in third world countries, and, you know, we're blessed to have that. But in America, you go to school. So it's like, why would you show up to kindergarten thinking that you were going to go do some trig or something, right? Why would you show up to kindergarten? I'm serious. Like, why would you show up to kindergarten and be like, all right, I'm ready to do some chemistry. Like, let's get the Bunsen burner going. Let's do this, right?
Yes, you're totally right.
You know?
Spot on.
Right?
Yeah.
I know.
Well, I think it's like the double-edged sword, because for like a lot of the presentations, people will show up at a presentation, and then there's all these people, oh, in 3 months I got my Lexus, and I got this, and I got that, and it's so easy. I only paid one time for, you know, this whole thing, and now I'm just making all sorts of money. And I don't know about you, but I've heard that a lot, and it messes with people's heads.
Yeah.
They're like, well, okay, well, that's what makes them join up. Okay, if it's that easy, I'll do it, you know, I'll try. But then when they don't get those results, they're like, this doesn't work, there's something wrong with me, you know, I'll never make it, and then they just want to give up. And it's like, But that's, you know, then it ties into coaching, and coaching, you know, having somebody to kind of help you with that process. And especially like the online aspect, most companies don't have a good understanding of how to do things online, or they don't want you to know. Because I know some companies that are very, you know, I don't want to call out anyone, but I know some personally that are very anti what you're doing and what I'm doing. And it's like,
absolutely.
Yeah, they don't want you to know these like ninja tricks. And so
yeah, they don't want you to brand you. They want you to brand them, because that's what network marketing is for them. Instead of paying for advertising, you're doing the advertising for them.
Right.
I think another thing is like, I know personally for myself, it was very frustrating, very overwhelming for me when, you know, people like Lisa Torres, I joined her in MLSP when she was like 5 or 6 months in, and then she's like up to $100,000, you know, a 6-figure earner. And then within that year of her joining that, you know, I'm watching her make, you know, have 10, 20, 30, $40,000 days. And I'm seeing her, I mean, what else has she done? She hit L6 in 1 year, exactly 1 year. So she hit the top, well, now they have the L7, but anyways, doesn't matter. She hit one of the highest ranks possible in 1 year, but it's like an iceberg, right? It's like an iceberg. You know, you only see 10% of an iceberg. You know, you don't see all the other struggles. You don't see all that, you know, and I think that's another thing that people get caught up in is the time frame, because that's that whole racing to die thing. We want it now. We want it now, like right now, right? And now, right? And it is. It's a lot of people don't see that struggle. So when you see overnight success, it looks like overnight success because you didn't see the fights. You know what I mean? You didn't see the fights. You didn't see the tears, you know, because I'm going to tell you right now, I had lots of fights, right? Like when I got that fire inside me, when I found the system and the training that I needed, that's when the fire really, I mean, I always had the fire because I saw the vision. I just didn't know. I was just like, I got to figure this out. And I failed a lot. And I can tell you that when I started getting on the track, just a little taste of, this is how you actually see that little taste of that. I'm telling you, like I would go to bed at 2 a.m. and I'd wake up to go to the bathroom at 5 or something. And I'd be like, oh, wait, I can start working my business. I can start learning this training. And I can't tell you the amount of times that I got in a fight with my kid's dad because or the dishes piled up, or the laundry piled up, or, you know, dinner wasn't on the table, or we were literally eating Pizza Hut 5-6 nights a week, you know, that I got ridiculed for not being a good mom, because there'd be times where, you know, and there were times, I'm going to tell you, man, there were times where I don't feel really good about myself because I would put my kids in front of the TV for a couple hours, you know, a couple extra hours, or do this, or, you know, kind of being neglectful of my family. You know, nobody tells you about that ugly side of network marketing. You know, that's another thing that I tell people when I start coaching them. I say, okay, you need to sit down, right? You have to do 90 days. You have to not give up. You have to figure out your vision. You have to figure out your why, and you have to declare and decide that you're not giving up for this next 90 days. And it's going to be hard. I said, there's going to be days when you're working like a dog, you're doing this, you're, you know, like I said, and there's not going to be results. You got to get your momentum up. And I tell everybody that I start coaching, you need to sit down with your family. You need to tell them, hey, the laundry's going to be piling up. The dishes are going to be piling up. Mommy and daddy might fight a lot, but it doesn't mean we don't love each other, right? I joke about this, but I am dead serious about this. I am dead serious about this, because that's the part of success that people don't show you. You know what I mean? What's that saying? It's like fall down 7 times, get up 8. You're going to get knocked down. You're going to get knocked down. You're going to get knocked down hard. And and it's not, you know, there's like Mark Harbert actually at Live the Dream. He was talking about how he just had his first $100,000 day. And he feels like giving up sometimes. Like, cause I used to think, oh, just once I get to that pivotal point, I'm never going to want to give up. No, I've had lots, you know, as I started getting success, I mean, I had my Twitter accounts shut down. I had, you know, and then I'm back down to 0 leads a day. And I'm like, dang, man. Because entrepreneurship is like up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. You just have to be persistent enough. And people don't tell you about that part, man. It's not until you're in it and you're like going through it. But I mean, that like people don't explain that. People just see that now, spam, spam, spam.
Yeah, I like how Dr. Joe Dispenza, I like how he talked about, you know, set that vision for your future. Where do you want to be? What is your vision? Really focus on it. Get clear on it. Just determine what that vision is going to be. What do you want? What are you seeking after? Focus on that. And then just like you're talking about the corridor, let that corridor just happen. You play your part, you do your daily things, you stay consistent to the best of your ability, you do what you can, you get the coaching, you get the training, you play a part, but you keep that vision and you don't let those daily disappointments, don't be disappointed by not having success. Don't be disappointed by not having leads or whatever, because all of those things are going to play into your greatness in the future. And you just have to have that vision, say, I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know how it's going to come to me. I don't know how these things are going to occur, but I see in the future, this is what my life is going to look like, and this is what I'm going to be able to contribute, and this is what my team is going to look like, and this is what, the bank account's going to look like. Think about all of those things and just focus on that and believe it's going to happen and do it every day, and you just walk into it. And mindset to me it always goes back to, that's the number one most difficult thing about network marketing, and it's the number one thing that will set you apart in network marketing and give you that success you want once you learn to conquer it and get over it, and become strong, have a strong mindset instead of a weak mindset, instead of a limiting lack mindset.
Yeah, and it's that vision, man. It's that vision. Whatever your vision is, maybe it's you sipping cocktails in Fiji. I don't know. Whatever your why is, you have to figure out. I mean, it's said a million times, right? It's said a million times. If your why doesn't make you cry, get a different why. And it's so true. It's just so true. I mean, you have to have that vision that, you have to have something wake you up, right? You have to have something that, wakes you up every single day, that's going to keep you consistent. It's going to keep you on that path. Because there's going to be days where you're going to get knocked down, man. There's going to be days when you're going to get knocked down. So you're going to be like, should I be doing this? And the other thing is that with a mindset, you have to protect it. You have to protect it like a jewel. I mean, like a giant diamond. You have to. And I'm just going to tell you really quickly a story. I was watching this interview the other day. I think it was called 15 Women on Netflix. I'll figure it out or something. I don't know. Anyways, but there was this woman who was talking about how she hated, and it was one of those interviews they start talking, but you have no idea who they are unless you know who they are. And she was talking about how she had this, she hated, she was a businesswoman. She was really thin, but she hated how, her pantsuits made bulges, right? Like, if you're a woman watching this, panty lines, all this other stuff. And she hated that. And so she was sitting there one day and she came up with the idea to cut out the pantyhose, like the legging part of it. And I didn't know this part of the story, so I didn't know who she was, so I wasn't piecing it together. Well, that's how Spanx was created. This lady is a multi-millionaire from Spanx, and it all started from this idea. But the best part about the story is that she scraped together the $5,000 to make the first batch or the prototype or whatever. She literally scraped together the $5,000, and she sat down her family. She sat her family down. And she's like, guys, I have this really great idea. It was like a family dinner, like a big family dinner. So I mean, like the grandparents and her kids and everybody was there. And she's like, guys, I have this really great idea. And she started telling them about this idea about how she cut out the legs of pantyhose and how she's going to be a millionaire and how it sucks everything in. And, if you're a girl out there, Spanx rock, right? But everybody, not one single person was on board with it, right? They were like, that's the dumbest idea. Her husband was like, you're going to go blow $5,000 of our money. Was really pissed off at her, she even came up with this idea. Well, the sneaky part is this. She goes, guys, I've already been doing this for a year now, and I'm already a multi-millionaire. And so the whole point of that is that if she wouldn't have done that, and she wouldn't have went behind their back, and I don't want to say behind their back, those people around you, that could have really, think about that. Those people could have really sucked her down, and she would have never been a multi-millionaire. So if you're watching this, you have to find your vision, your dream. Not your dream, because the dreams are like when you go to sleep, but your vision, your why, and you have to protect it. You know what I mean? There's always going to be naysayers. There's going to be people that are going to get you down. It doesn't matter. You have to have that posture that nothing will change. Nothing's going to shake your foundation. And that's honestly, the biggest mindset key, I guess, or trick to, to this all. You just, there's always gonna be bad days. There's always gonna be bad days. I've heard millionaires who want to quit. I've heard people like Mark Harbert, like I said, who had his first 6-figure day the other day. And he's like, I wanted, a week later, I was like, I don't know, I want to quit.
Yes. So I'm going to ask you a question. If you had to start all over today, knowing what you know now, What would you do differently?
Oh God, that's such a tough question. It's like one of those like open-ended questions that have so many answers. I think that okay, I'm just gonna tell you the first thing that pops in my head because we were just talking about this. But I wish that I would have believed and saw the bigger picture before I did, because I honestly, we were just talking about this the other day, my kid's dad and I was like, look at what we're doing now. Like, cause I was telling him, like, I actually got asked, I've been actually asked to be interviewed like 4 or 5 times, like in the last couple of weeks. I'm actually part of a book now. I got an interview and I'm going to be a part of a chapter of a book. You know, we were talking about like the friends that I have now, the connections that I have. And I'm not bragging. I'm not trying to impress you guys. I'm just trying to press upon you that you just have to believe, right? And we were just talking about, and I mean, like I said, I'm like, you always hear about the 6 and 7 figure earners. You know, I'm like on my way up right now. Like, that's where I'm at. Like, so whenever you're watching this, that's where I'm at. I've just hit that first breakthrough to really skyrocket, right? And get my plane off. So I'm just saying this to press upon you, not impress you. But we were literally talking about this the other day, and how I'm like, we just actually had to stop. And I was like, could you ever, I mean, what would you do if like, you know, almost 2 years going on, like if 2 years ago, you're where we're at now, if you went back to yourself and said, look, Brittany's going to have this big brand, she has this big vision, and she's going to, you know, start being famous. That still blows my mind. Like, people, like, I'll jump on people's lives and they'll be like, oh my God, Brittany Keller's on. I'm like, what? Like, it's weird. And I'm just, like I said, I'm right here. I'm like, I'm not even in the sky. I'm not even up to altitude. Like, I'm not even where I want to be yet, guys. But my point is that in the beginning, it really was just to make that extra 500 to I was maybe hoping, right? I was maybe hoping that I would get up to about, you know, $2,000 on average, right? On average in America, I found, and it's not comfortable, but between $2,000 to $2,500 can fire people's bosses, right? Like, you know, one spouse or one partner or one person, whatever your situation is. And I guess if I had to do it all over again, I wish that I would have, I guess, I don't know if this is kind of what you're looking for. Basically, I was just talking about how, you know, my kid's dad and I were just talking about this yesterday, all the things that are happening for me now, right? Like you know, I had a 4-figure day. You know, I've been asked to be I'm part of a book now. I actually like got my, my story is being transcribed. I actually did like a voice thing. You know, I mean, so many things are happening to me. And like I said, I'm like on my way to the 6 and 7 figure. I'm not like there yet, you know, but I'm on my way. And basically what I was saying is that if I had to go back over again, is that I would have just believed in network marketing a lot more. I would have believed in the vision, because at the time I was just looking to make an extra, you know, maybe maybe $500 to maybe $2,000 so that we could not live comfortably, but we wouldn't live paycheck to paycheck. With if I was bringing in $2,000, like on average, I was saying on average in America between $2,000 and $2,500 is what it takes to fire your boss. Really, like, you're not going to be living a luxurious lifestyle. Make on average. And is if I had to go back, is that I wish that I would have just believed in this more. I wish that I could have, you know, I would have really saw the vision more, because that would have made me, I mean, I would have studied a lot sooner, a lot faster. I would have taken it more seriously. I would have invested in my training. I would have sold my car instantly. So I think just, I mean, that's really like, if I had to start all over again, and everything's in the mindset. And I guess it's just because we were just talking about mindset. But if I had to start all over again, I wish that I would have paid attention to really like the power of network marketing, because I truly believe that not everybody wants to do this. I get it, but I truly believe. So I guess what I'm saying is not everybody's going to want to do network marketing. I get it, right? But I truly believe that anybody can do network marketing. I really do. There's so many products, there's so many offers, there's affiliate marketing, there's multi-level marketing, there's so many things that you can do within this. You know, so I wish that people would just see that, you know, this is really just an amazing way to actually create freedom where you come from. It doesn't matter your past. It doesn't matter your education. It doesn't matter, you know, if you just decide to step into your greatness and to start, you know, learning and being open to coaching, right? Like, if you're coachable, I believe that network marketing is for anybody. If they decide. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if that was like what you were looking for, because it was such a broad question, but I just think because we're like doing mindset, I think that if I would have, I wish that I would have just believed in the vision. I wish I would have saw the vision. I wish I would have believed in me more. I wish I would have seen the power of network marketing. I mean, I could wish all day long, but I mean, I guess that's what I would do differently is I would have paid attention to network marketing a lot sooner, I guess.
Brittany. Just so fun. I'm so sorry. You don't deserve this. Right? A solid interview, man. I think I could interview for like at least 5 hours minimum. I think I could stand to put up with it for 5 hours, just hearing everything you've learned and gone through.
Right.
Some awesome insights, and that's a proof. That's just showing everything that you've learned, everything that you've been through, and because you're coachable, now you're able to go out and coach. And so that's just elemental. It's huge, and I just think you're totally full of value. So I think we're just gonna wrap it up since the computer's giving us so many problems.
We gave it our best.
Yes, we did. We gave it our best. So Brittany, if anybody wants to find you or hook up with you, where's the best place for them to find you online?
Cool. Yeah. So I mean, you can find like the best places on my blog, and there's I'm always on Facebook, so you can find me at facebook.com/Brittany Lynn Keller, and that's probably the best. I'm always on Facebook, so that's the best way. But like I said, you can always catch me on my blog.
All right, so that's BrittanyKeller.com.
Successwithbrittany.com.
Oh yeah. I should know better. I've already gone. I love your website. Your website's beautiful.
No, it's okay.
All right, people. So if you are interested in talking to Brittany, definitely hook up with her. She's got a lot of good things to tell you and share with you, and a lot of tools, tricks, strategies, mindset stuff that will really help you with your business, whether you're getting started or you need to figure out a way to actually do this online. She's definitely a good resource for you. So Brittany, thank you so much for putting up with this and just being awesome like your awesome self is.
No, thank you so much, and I'm sorry this is happening, but you know what? I think it's good for people to see this too, is that I think everybody always thinks that you have to be so pro, right? Like you have to be so pro and stuff happens and you have to roll with the punches, man. So, I mean, it's good. Like I live my whole brand by, leading by example. So, I mean, this is good. Like I always tell my audience, like, if I'm not looking right or something, because I think so many people think that you have to build a brand, you always have to have your makeup done and your kids out of your hair, but stuff happens, man. It happens. So
I'm like that a lot. I'm normally like, kids, I will kill you if you come near me.
I know. I used to do video, and I went back through the other day. I'm like, could you see that? But I used to actually lock myself in my bathroom, and sometimes you could hear the kids in the background trying to come in the bathroom, and you couldn't see it. It was off camera, but me, I can see my one side of my body tensing up because my leg would be like up against the door, and you can see like when it's happening because I'd be stuttering because I was already like so nervous about being on film. So it's like you got to roll with it. And honestly, that's when my career really started taking off. Is when the more I just exuded me. Like if my kids were in the videos, whatever, I'd be like, hey, here's Zayden, here's Rudy, what's up? And people love that because it's relatable. So
yeah.
All right, we're gonna do this again, okay?
Yes, ma'am, definitely, for sure. I'm sure you have a lot more to share.
Hashtag take two. All right, I will see you on the other side.
All right, Brittany. Have a great day.
Yeah. NicoletteMoore.com. Yeah. Look. You know she got you, yeah, when it comes to the lead, she gon' lead you straight to the lead generation. It's what it is all about, recruiting all the prospects, yeah, that's what it's shot. She help you with the coaching, you know that she give you the potion, so you could go and move it through the ocean. Cause she there for you, she really cares, she wanna help you grow, that's why she there. So if you wanna get more, you wanna see this what's in store, NicoletteMoore.com, get it, y'all.